Hello. Maybe you happened upon this podcast by chance, or maybe you're one of the thousands, if not possibly trillions, of listeners listening right now. Well, have no fear. You've stumbled upon Hitting the Mark with Mark and Harry. God damn it. I knew I would do that. It's Hitting the Mark with Harry and Mark, because that sounds better, because Harry sounds way better first. Anyway, welcome. Welcome to Hitting the Mark with Harry and Mark. I'm Mark, and this is Harry.
Hello.
This is our second episode, and I just cut off Harry in the first 5 minutes.
No, I was going to say welcome to episode 2. So you good.
There we go. This is our second episode. It's a tad bit more refined. Not by much. It's kind of like... Well, I don't know what it's like, but it's like something. Anyway, here we basically just talk about media, games, electronics, occasionally if we're inclined politics, but like that's going to be like a can of worms that we will open up like way down the road if we feel inclined. Any kind of movies, music, and overall just like chill stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
good
so,
2 cents, Harry.
I was gonna say, we can go straight into the topics. We're gonna talk about The Mandalorian, and you're gonna talk about Picard, correct?
Yes, I'm gonna talk about Discovery.
Okay.
So last week I went on kind of a tirade over toxic fan bases and that kind of thing, specifically with Star Trek. Star Trek isn't immune to that kind of thing. But I figured, as I said last week, I would want to get into The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is a show that I have enjoyed, but I can see the initial cracks of the series coming in a bit, I think. That being said, I'll focus it down to one episode. Let's see if we have it on at the moment. You know what? One of the worst things about doing this on like a Thursday and a Wednesday are, because these fucking episodes come out a day after we do our podcast. So any reviews that I would want to do are like whole week late.
So when do they come out?
So Discovery comes out Thursdays and the Mando comes out Fridays.
That's
such a shit shoot.
Yeah. Damn.
So
we can always set it up so everyone's getting ready for the next episode to get like a recap.
No. That sounds informed and reasonable. I want us to forego all our jobs and just do this every day.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. You bolt down the doors to your place of establishment and home, and that'll take them a good week or two to break down, and I'll boost off people's Wi-Fi.
Sounds good.
Let's get to it. Let's start with The Mandalorian. Let me pull up the episode just to be clear.
And just so everyone knows, I have not watched a single episode of either one of these shows.
It's completely okay, pal.
Just so everyone knows why I'm not putting my 2 cents in.
Trust me, like, I know I went off on a huge tirade last week about Star Trek, but I have no doubt that you knew like enough about like fan bases and how they can be, and how like there's no fan base in the world that isn't fucking toxic. So I'm looking for the friggin' episode, and all it can tell me is Baby Yoda steals space macaroons. I don't know why the internet does this to me. Basically, it's just called Chapter 12. I'm sure there's another episode to it, or episode name to it. Doesn't matter. I don't care. This episode sees the Mando surviving the previous trip they made from one of their fucking dartboard planet names, and heading back to Navarro, where they meet back up with season 1's God, what are the names of these people? Gina Carano and Carl Weathers' character. See, I know the actors' names a hell of a better than I know the other characters' names. Anywho, of course, it wouldn't be a Mando episode if he didn't just like want something to like go about his day, and they're like, "Oh, we need your help." Mm-hmm. So they're going to clear out this Imperial base, and they find out that it's not what it seems. I won't spoil too much of that. All these wacky 70s comedy hijinks ensues, and they have to get out of the base, yada, yada, yada. I was kind of pleased that this episode wasn't filler. This is the first concrete episode that's really dealing with what is going to be set up in the next half of this season. I felt like the previous couple of episodes were kind of Avatar, or next time on this, where it's like the kooky hijinks. Funny, well directed. Carl Weathers, the actor who plays oh my god, I just have his name in my head and then I lose it as soon as I hear it. Greef Karga, I'm sorry. He's the Bounty Hunter Guild liaison chief guy on Navarro. He's pretty good. I haven't seen a single episode so far, I believe, of the 4 episodes that has been poorly directed. Gina Carano's pretty good in it too. I won't get into much of her behind the scenes controversies yet. That's probably for another time. Solid episode. I feel like the 40-minute pacing that they have in the season 2 episodes are a little I'm not a big fan personally. I feel like they're packing in a lot of information, not a lot of information, but a lot of high octane kind of Star Warsiness into 40 episodes. And I think they're pushing themselves a little hard with the runtime. Special effects are absolutely amazing. I mean, for Christ's sake, The Mandalorian is one of the most popular shows on Disney Plus. It accounts for like massive amounts of popularity as opposed to everything else combined. So I'm not surprised they would invest fucking ass loads of money into these shows.
Right.
The problem I seem to have is I feel like they're doing like a Mando quota, and I'll get into that in just a moment. What I mean by that is, so imagine it's 2019. You're wet behind the ears. You're looking at your first episode of The Mandalorian, and you're like, "Oh fuck, this is going to be so badass." And all of a sudden, this guy's like taking care of a baby across the galaxy, right? And the baby is so adorable. It's like an internet sensation. It's like the fucking porgs from Last Jedi. And there was no cute-ometer. There was no Mando quota. There was no like, oh, the baby has to do this set amount of quirky, cute things to make us laugh and make us adore it. I feel like as soon as I saw the trailer and as soon as I saw certain scenes in certain episodes, I felt like it felt a little pushed that, oh, we have to have the baby do this cute thing. We have to force a bit of this. And I feel, listen, I don't want to be too hard on it. It's a solid show. It's well acted. There's obvious love put into it. Like, I see the behind the scenes shit of them doing like practical effects every which way they can, and the technology that they use instead of using green screen every 5 seconds is admirable. But I feel like the ever so attractive cookie cutter storyline, the sameness, the formulaic aspect coming in that might start to hurt the show.
Right.
there was an ounce of mystery in The Mandalorian the first season. You didn't really know who the players were. You didn't really know what was going to go on. Now that's out of the way. Now we know kind of what his shtick is. We know who his allies are, the growing rogues gallery of friends he has, the main villain, who is teased repeatedly. I'm worried that because the show markets its Star Wars-ness, that it might forego more quality storytelling. Don't get me wrong, love the show. I'll sneak an episode before I get the chance to watch it with my dad, so he can get bitch about it, and then we can watch it together, and then he'll forget because of his Alzheimer's. Kidding about the last part. But I feel like there is a desire to sell the Star Warsiness than to sell a good story. I was saying that with Star Trek 2 last week, where it's not so much that people genuinely love the storytelling, it's that you are being bombarded with as much non-cringy Star Wars stuff as possible. And that is what people come back for. If this had been a Western about a guy if this had been like an Akira Kurosawa story like Yojimbo or something where this samurai is taking care of it. Well, you know what? No, fuck the weebs. If this had been a Western about a guy taking care of a kid in the Old West and he's got to maneuver the bounty hunters, no one would want to watch this. No, I mean, if it was done well, it would probably be on HBO. People would love to see it.
Right.
But I mean, like, it wouldn't have nearly the same following. But since it's Star Wars, they can get away with, I'd say, like 75% of what the writing of like this hypothetical HBO cowboy, lone wolf and cub show could be, because it's Star Wars. It's the Star Wars-ness. That's the powder on the donut. The donut could be like literal cardboard, but as long as the Star Wars-ness feels Star Wars-y, the cardboard is rendered moot due to the Star Wars-y powder. So that being said, I'm going to get off the Star Wars hump. The next one is Star Trek. Star Trek Disco. When Picard comes on, if it does, they're kind of in some hot water with the second season. I may review that. But let's see. I believe it's the 5th episode. 6th episode. Jesus Christ, they're for long. The 6th episode, Scavengers. I actually have a title for this one. I feel almost resembles a very well put together Star Trek episode. I have nothing particularly wrong with these new series, except one major flaw. I feel like they are tripping over themselves to get to where they want to get to without telling like really, really compelling stories.
Okay.
I mentioned last week the problem with what was it? The 10 episode format.
Yes.
Where it's like everything is committed to this one serialized story. And I really like that. Like, if you want to tell a really good story in 10 episodes, you do that. But I think one of the things that you lose is maybe some of the time it takes to get to know these people. You have this character in Scavengers, Burnham. She's the main character. She befriends this guy from the future called Book. They have this apparently years long relationship because she was, in the future for a whole year ahead of the ship. And, he's on this prison planet, or this salvage planet that's using slaves. And there's this whole let's rise up against these people thing that's just picked up and finished in the span of 30 minutes. And that kills me. Like, I get that Star Trek would do that, where it would be like, oh, let's go to this planet with this niche gimmick and let's explore like the problems with privatized healthcare, or let's like what happens when you like rigorously adhere to law and order, or when you, I don't know, fucking eat every third baby or whatever. But there's no time. That's the problem. That's part of what makes Star Trek really great, is they go to this planet, they examine a thing that is probably topical to our current day standards, you know, and they deal with it. It's not always the best writing, but right. That's part of what gives Star Trek its zeal. There is an interesting bit character-wise where Burnham is stuck between upholding her duties with Saru, the captain, who is trying to establish the Discovery in this new era with this contemporary Federation. And then Burnham, who is kind of acting rogue and all this stuff and doing all this to understand the current era and what's going on with the cataclysmic event and all this shit. Pardon my saying. But I feel like in this instance, the 10 episode format, or the 15, I can't tell, I can't remember how many episodes these will have, is almost hog tying the story, because the very idea of exploring this new avenue of Star Trek, this new era, is something that you could spend years, and I mean absolutely years, fleshing out. You could do a series about like people on Kronos with the Klingons, like reforming the Federation, fucking genocides, more wars. Like, all of DS9 was literally this crew of this space station discovering this wormhole, and this other Federation, like, well, evil Federation, asshole Federation, like civilization, fighting with them. And it was great. It was compelling. And that was over a 26 episode arc, or 26 episode season. And that was 7 seasons. The problem is that, like, that's one conflict. That's the Dominion War. And that was all done in 7 seasons. If you want to get nitty gritty about it, it was only really done in 4, and it was compelling. The thing is they have literally just like opened up the creative possibility machine. Like, they grabbed it by the chest cavity and like fucking ripped it open, bloody and bare, as it was begging for its life. And all of like the possibilities are just drowning out, and they don't have the capacity to, I think, meaningfully explore that.
Yeah,
that's one of the problems I have with these episodes, is that they're in such a rush to get to these places, and they don't really have the time to do it meaningfully. Star Trek has always been a series that, as much as I hate the filler episodes about the goddamn tribbles, or, you know, the whole, oh, this ensign, what's his name, got stuck in the transporter, like all of those cliches, I get it. But you flesh out a series with more episodes and a little more time for them to relax and breathe. And when you're under fewer episodes, you strain your characters into doing all of these things all at once, and do this, that, and this and that. You don't get time to get to know them. I get that you get time to, the in a literary sense, it's like you put them under pressure, you give them a chance to make a choice, and that reveals character. But one of the things that Star Trek is also known for is the down times, the silly episodes, the world isn't going to explode times. And I think that's important. That's something that they need to consider. Like, you know, maybe one awful episode where they're all talking about their feelings would be fine. Just slow the hell down.
I mean, I agree. Like what you're talking about with the filler episodes. I mean, as you must know, I watch a lot of anime. And those filler episodes are great to really understand the characters. They might be annoying in the sense of like we're saying, like, story-wise, it's not really progressing the story, but you really get to know the characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are minute times within the episode where you can get a chance to get to know these people. Because it's like every single one of these characters are beholden to this story. And the story doesn't do anything necessarily to flesh them out, except like the overall, like, oh, we're Federation. And we do things because it's good to do things. And it's the humane thing, and not like, oh, well, why does this guy do it? Or like, oh, is this guy kind of an asshole, but he's still a good like that's the kind of stuff that exists in a show with a slightly longer format that takes a time to breathe. And that's the one problem that I have is that, I mean, worst case scenario, you have Voyager where everyone's just dicking around, like where every episode is filler. And then you've got like one or two really great ones. And then you have like the chick in the cat suit, pardon my saying, you have Jerry Ryan in a cat suit, and then all of a sudden the ratings go up. And that's not the whole reason she was on there. You shut the fuck up, you fanboy nerds. Or you have DS9, which is like, most of the episodes that are filler are still great. So, yeah. Anyway. I seem to have a problem with the 10 to 15 episode format. I don't know why. I have a bone to pick with it, but I love the straight storytelling that you can do with it.
Yeah. To my point, for me, like, again, anime, like, my favorite animes are actually the ones that are one season long, 10 to 13 episodes long, because it's so story driven, and you know, like, you get to know the characters really fast, and I don't know, like, I really like them. I really like the short series animes because it's just like you get to the point, and that's it. Like, I feel like certain animes or even certain series in general just go too long, you know, like
One Piece.
There you go. I think Dragon Ball Z is another one. Like, that's a whole rant on itself. But Dragon Ball Z, I feel like, is one that went way too long. And like, so, like, I kind of like agree where I believe what you're saying is you kind of like the short format just because it really basically puts the story in front and then never really does the filler thing. And you know, obviously the long series, like I was saying, like Dragon Ball, like, you really get to know the characters through filler episodes because they're expected to do a bunch of episodes. So it's like, okay, what's a good way for us to show this character in certain situations? Like, all right, filler episodes, and that's good.
Completely agreed. Yeah.
And like, I think that works with long series, but if you're gonna go with a short series, it's like filler episodes have to do something with story. So I think what you're saying, like, you can always put some filler items inside of an episode, so it's not a full filler episode. It's just a filler situation inside of an episode.
And that's the crazy thing. If I could rub this back to Mandalorian, and some of what you're saying too is like Mandalorian, like a third of third fucking out of 8 episodes, half their episodes are filler, where it's like, we don't know what the fucking story is. Like, here's the thing: the first season, it's the first 2 and the last 2 episodes. The half of them are really only about the main story, about the guy like trying to get the kid away from the Empire, and the Empire having mysterious plans for it. And the rest is just like, oh, you want to do a space heist? Oh, you want to defend these fucking idiots from Klatooinians? Like, oh, you want to go to Tatooine and do this? And then like the occasional cameo episode, and then fucking But I completely agree with what you're saying with anime as well, where it's like, I know I'm not the anime guy. You know, my friends, our friends. If I was saying this, they would shit on me so bad for this. But Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is great. It's a great entry series. You watch it. It's what, 40 episodes, 30 episodes?
It's way less than that. I think it's like 24. Sorry, way less.
There you go. Even better.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that's 20 episodes, and they're 20 minutes apiece. the mood, the tempo, the writing, well, music obviously, is set perfectly to get to know these people. Story is interlaced throughout most of the episodes, telling a grander narrative. But the thing is almost every episode is committed to telling its own story, but with developed characters.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. It's the same thing with certain parts of Dragon Ball Z. I mean, to the most diluted sense, but I mean, like, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's what's important, I think, is learning to find some kind of middle ground where you're setting up a story that uses its space adequately. Like, if Star Trek Disco, the third season, had been about them getting into the 31st century and like trying to discover the Federation, and at the end of this season they discover the Federation, and then the next season is about them like, oh, we realize the Federation is full of shit, or like whatever. But like this season would be about them just like exploring this small portion of space, figuring out what the fuck happened, and like figuring out what happened with these people in this region, getting there, opening the frame a little bit more, like giving the people who are doing the writing a little more to work with, and then a little more, and then a little more. Like, you could make seasons, seasons. God forbid they did it with Voyager about a fucking ship just trying to get home, like, or just trying to get from point A to point B. They did it with fucking Voyager. 20 episodes a piece, or 26 episodes a piece for 7 seasons. You have an idea how goddamn boring that series is? If you did that with 10 episodes a piece about them getting from point A to point B and doing cool shit along the way, some moral implications, some contemporary issues, and then like the next season is about the same shit just in a different way, like, come on. 10 episodes, I could handle that.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I've told you this a million times. This is why I like DBZA, is that it takes all of the absolute nonsense and it just boils it down to the absolute bare necessity of it. And we're not talking like bare necessity, like, oh, it gets rid of the heart of DBZ. No, Dragon Ball Z Abridged, for anyone who's not a fan, which is on YouTube, essentially like takes hours and hours of like the Frieza saga and the Cell saga and condenses it into what I can call the funniest fucking narrative that does not even deviate from the actual sagas. It takes everything, provides a really good narration or voiceover cast that's really close most of the time to the original voice cast, and it's hilarious, and it doesn't sacrifice the quality or the tropes that everyone already knows about. It highlights them. Yeah, that's what I think is great about it. That being said, doo-doo, caca, doo-doo, 10 episode format, I'd be fine with 15 or 20.
Yeah, you get,
but it's all about writing. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, 10 episodes you can do stuff, but if there's just a few series that I've seen that kind of like the last episode just seems like it's so rushed because they're trying to add everything in the last episode, and you're like, okay, like there's so many things that, yeah, like maybe they could have gotten like an extra few episodes, because it's like you're pushing everything at that last episode that you're like, okay, I want to put this in the first 9 episodes.
Oh yeah,
and then the last episode you're like, oh crap, I have like 4 episodes worth of stuff that I still have, but I have 1 episode left. I gotta crunch all of that down to 1 episode. It's like it just doesn't. It's not right. like man.
No, yeah, it's like being in an abusive relationship.
Yes,
you said you wouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah. But no,
I
understand.
It sucks, but I mean, it doesn't. Just because I'm like on this rant, just because it's started with Star Trek, this discussion I'm talking about, doesn't mean that I don't like Star Trek. I'll always love Star Trek. I love Star Trek Discovery. I like what they're doing. I liked the first and second seasons, despite everyone griping and moaning like little children. But it is something that I am noticing within Star Trek, especially with Star Trek Picard as well, where there is so much information that they're trying to give you, and there's this huge story, and they both convolute it and then strip it of all its heart at the same time. That just kills the ever-living shit out of me. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow we're gonna have Vulcans, so that'll satiate my my pain.
Well, on to the next topic.
On to the X-Nopic. Gotcha.
Capcom. I know this happened a week ago, but we haven't discussed it. Capcom had a leak, and so do you have do you have the article up right now? Or you want me to just, or do you want me to just tell you what
article up?
I can just throw you the names that are coming out. Okay, so
tell me, Daddy.
So I guess the biggest one to me okay, let's go with the biggest one in general. Most likely, I think it's going to be Monster Hunter 6. I haven't played Monster Hunter, but it's big. It's Monster Hunter, right? So that's huge, and that's going to be 2023 second quarter.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, but still, it's like, fuck this leak, dude. One that I'm actually super stoked for, Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. They're coming out with another Street Fighter, 2022.
And it looks like they've essentially leaked, like, I don't know how credible this is.
Right.
But they've leaked the next 4 to 5 years of video game lineups, which is insane.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, they kind of have to just. I'm pretty sure they've invested enough money.
Release it all at once.
Well, not. I mean, I don't know about once, but you know what I mean. Like they're gonna release it anyways. Like even though it's out there, it's like, and like you said, how credible is this? You know what I mean? Like, is this for real or is this?
I mean, to be fair, it's not like. Here's the thing. I can see them doing Street Fighter. I can see them doing Monster Hunter. I can see them fucking doing Resident Evil.
Right.
Resident Evil is like that poor little cow that's like strapped to the wall, and they got this device on its udders, and it's just like sucked of its life. They just can't let it die.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, I don't know which one it is, but they're talking about a Resident Evil Battle Royale.
Oh my fucking god!
I don't think that's a good idea, but I mean,
they came up with a game like that. It's called Left 4 Dead. Balls in your court now, Capcom.
Oh man, Left 4 Dead so good. But it's crazy. I mean, it's out there, and I'm excited for a couple of these. Some of these are, like you said, kind of like, I can see it coming, and I'm not really surprised.
I wonder what they could do to kind of switch this into their favor. Because, I mean, it's like, I'm not going to lie. If I found out, like, Arcane had a lineup of, like, the next 3 games, and all of a sudden one of them was Dishonored and another one was another Prey, I don't give a shit if it was, like, 2080 something. I would be excited,
right?
Like just the fact that it exists, that they're like, because it's like, oh, come on now, Resident Evil. There's one I have here that says Resident Evil Hank or
Hunk
something Hunk. Like, if you're a Resident Evil fan, or if you're a not Final, Jesus Christ. If you're like any one of these fans who sees something in the 2024 like bracket, you're still going to be excited. It doesn't matter like how far off it is. Just the fact that they have it out has piqued someone's interest.
Yep.
I don't think this hurts them. I mean, again, I don't know what else was leaked. If you want to do more on this episode, I will put more effort into it. I apologize for not having all of my notes on me at the time.
That's
But
fine,
like,
fine.
if they just leaked the games, this is a benefit. This just, like, I get that, like, this is all the games right then and there, and all the hype is going to die down quickly. But, like, come on, we have friends who love Monster Hunter. You're honestly going to tell us the fact that they, like, now know that there's going to be another Monster Hunter out, at least probably within another 2.5 years, they're not going to be excited.
Right. And even, like, we don't personally know, or at least I don't personally know anybody who's, like, super into Street Fighter, but Street Fighter, we know, is huge. So it's like, you know, people are ready for it.
And how can the e-gaming, how can the esports group, like, prepare for something like that? You honestly think, like, with that knowledge, that they're not going to possibly build their, like, tournament curriculum around that?
Yeah.
Or something around that? Like, I get that, like, you don't want your cards revealed until you reveal them, but, like, again, if this was Bungie and they were like, oh, well, turns out, like, we're just gonna kill everyone at 343 Industries. No, I'm kidding. Turns out we're just gonna, like, have a coup at 343 Industries and just retake Halo, and then it was leaked, or something with Naughty Dog, or something with whoever.
Yeah.
You're telling me they wouldn't be excited? Come on, like, oh man, there's another Halo, and it's gonna be better than Halo's fucking Infinite, or like, oh, there's going to be a Dishonored 4. I know I'm on the Dishonored hump. I'm a big Arcane fan. Shut up. Leave me alone. Like, any person who has their respective company making their, not even the company, any person knowing that there's going to be, like, a game from a franchise that they like coming out is going to be excited. I don't care what anyone says. I absolutely love knowing for a fact that there's going to be an Elder Scrolls 6.
Right.
I hate that I have to wait till 2024 probably.
Right.
And I feel like maybe they shouldn't have released it sometime in 2018 or the
trailer.
Yeah, they did the thing for it in 2018. But, like, the idea that it is a formality, that I am just waiting for it to come out and not, is it going to come out?
Right.
That's the important part.
Yeah, I mean,
because that builds people's hopes, and you have a committed fan base.
Yep, they're getting ready for what's coming out soon. Going with video games. I know you don't have a PS4, but next month's free games.
Yeah, rub it in.
Next month's free games with the PlayStation Plus are Just Cause 4, Rocket Arena, and Worms Rumble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Worms, you fucking asshole.
Yeah. So I never. Rocket Arena is just Rocket League, right? Am I wrong?
I don't know. Let's look it up because we have the power of the internet right in front of us. Rocket Arena.
Yeah.
Rocket Arena, you fucking idiot.
Oh no, never mind. It's completely different.
Oh god, it looks awful.
It does look awful. Okay. I mean, they're giving it out for free.
God, look at these characters. They look so spunky and hip.
Yeah. Bad.
One guy's a baby pterodactyl.
Oh.
I think I don't think we should judge this game too harshly. I think we should try to be unbiased. I think we should be really level-headed with this. No. Honestly. Yeah. It looks very... God, I can't believe I'm saying this. It looks very Unreal Tournament meets fucking Ratchet and Clank.
Okay. Yeah. See that. And then Worms Rumble it's Worms. Worms has its own little, like, cult that loves itself.
Following.
Yeah.
We pray to the worm. Worm provides guidance.
I did not... I think it was Just Cause 2 that I played back in the day. It was like a more extreme version of GTA at the time, I believe.
You mean not a more extreme version of Just Cause 3?
There you go. Yeah.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
open world.
Open world. And then this one was like, you can, like, destroy anything. And I don't know. Like, it was cool. It was
Motherfucker,
entertaining.
Mercenaries 2 did that shit in 2000 whenever, and no one batted a goddamn eyelash.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the thing is, Just Cause never really got an audience either. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the thing.
Yeah, that's one of those. That's one of those series that's just like. It's like the video game simp. It's just like, hey, we made a game. Whatever. Hey, we made a second one. We made a third. Notice me, please. Oh yeah, no, that's cool. Hey, we made a fourth one. It's got some great like rocket physics. Oh.
Well, it's just like I think I don't know. Like it's just one of those games that I'm like, do people actually buy this? Like giving it out for free, I'm
right?
like, I get it. You know, I get why it's free, but like how do they make a fourth one?
Yeah, right.
Are there enough people?
I mean, do they
buying it?
pay people to voice over this? Like, or is that just like, do they recycle the dialogue from the previous games? Like, what's going on?
I have no idea, dude. But I mean, hey, they're free and PlayStation's giving them out. So what do you expect, right? It's like a few months ago they gave away. Or was it last month? I think it was a couple months ago. They gave away the Modern Warfare 2 single player that just released earlier this year, which I'm bummed because I spent the money on buying it. You know, when it first came out for $40. Or was it 40 or I don't know. I spent money on it. I think it might be 20 or something. But I spent the money because I wanted to play it. And then a few months later, hey, here you can have it for free now. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I paid money for that.
Yeah, I'm not liking that cycle over games where it's like, you know, I want it and then I buy it and they're like, oh, hey, we released like a remaster or for free or whatever.
Like, I'll say when they also gave out Shadow of the Colossus, the PS4 version, for free. I also bought it beforehand, which kind of bummed me out. But at the same time, like, that's one of those games that, like, if you don't buy it, because you're not into it, but then they offer it, like, hey, here's it for free. You're kind of like, well, I mean, since it's free, let me get it and then try it out, and then, you know, it's a great game, as you should know.
Oh yeah, if like. Yeah, I have way too much good stuff to say about Shadow of the Colossus. That shit formed some of my video game storytelling ideologies.
Yeah, like you know, like I got the Uncharted series, the remastered version for the PS4. Like, I got it for free, and you know, 1, 2, and 3, and they gave out 4 later on. So it's like I played all of them and liked all of them, and I was like, you know, and I never actually played them on the PS3. So this gave me a chance to play them in the PS4, upgraded graphics, and also, you know, just experience it, like, where I would have never actually paid for the games. But since they gave them out the free, I was actually able to experience it. So it has its pros and cons. Yeah. Like, sometimes they give out good games. Sometimes they give out Rocket Arena. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get you. Yeah. I hear you. It's similar to... Yeah, it's similar to Gold. I don't know why they're doing Gold on Xbox, but it's like... It's so redundant when you have Ultimate... Or, not Ultimate, but Game Pass.
Game Pass? Oh,
Game Pass is like... one of the best decisions Microsoft has made. The Xbox's gaming platform. It's, oh my god. So speaking of, I actually just downloaded a game called Carrion.
Carrion, okay.
Carrion is what happens when you cross Spider-Man with The Thing. One of my favorite movies by the top 5. Watch it. Great practice. Please. So all it is you're literally like a little meat alien ball thing, and you're killing things, humans, and you're like evolving or mutating. And it has very I don't want to say a Metroidvania well, it is very Metroidvania. You get a lot of small power-ups that like change the way you play, kind of like the new Tomb Raiders, where it's like, oh, I can't get to this area, I'll leave. And then you get this upgrade, and you're like, oh, look, I can do this now, and you get through this obstacle. It's pretty fun. The movement, I think, is really enjoyable. When I say I compare it to, like, Spider-Man and The Thing put together, it's literally just this red mouth and eyeball laden like turd log. And it, depending on how you're like angling the analog stick, it moves around like fucking Spider-Man. It like has these tentacles that just grapple on everything. It has like a 48 pixel, kind of like a pixel. God damn it! People are going to be so mad at me when they figure out I don't know what I'm talking about. It has a very pixelated visual style to it, so it has like the whole, oh yeah, violent and pixelated at the same time.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Gameplay is very smooth. Not much of a story to it, other than like some chapters where you're kind of playing as a human being, and that's about it. Still pretty fun though. I'll recommend it on Game Pass. No, I'm not endorsed by Microsoft, but if they want to give me a chance, you know. Yeah.
Show. The other thing I want to talk about was, I believe this is already old news, but Cuphead was supposed to get a DLC, but they delayed it because of COVID. I just want to shout out Cuphead for doing what it did.
Really?
Yeah, like just the type of game it is. Like I played it for a bit. I never actually beat the game, but like it's just an old school style game, and it blew up. You know, I don't know if you've ever played Cuphead.
Yeah, I played it with you over at a friend of ours. Remember?
Right. Okay, so that's when we play. Okay, so yeah,
I was awful at it because I'm fucking awful at video games. But I mean,
but it's just I don't know. I just wanted to shout out Cuphead because like they just because they're a small studio. Like they weren't like with any major companies like Activision or EA or anything, right? They just made their fucking game. Like, hey, here's my game, and yeah. It's fucking killed. So I just wanted to shout it out. And I guess they're having a DLC, which is cool. They're still bringing new shit to it. So,
and they're just pausing just because of the whole pandemic.
Exactly. So
nice.
So outside of gaming news, did you know Colorado opened up their first In-N-Outs?
All right, guys. It was nice talking to you. I think we're going to retire. We'll move on to some other projects now. I mean,
I'm
Colorado.
Yeah, I'm a huge In-N-Out fan. I love In-N-Out.
Yeah, we know that. For anyone who doesn't know that, he's a big In-N-Out fan.
But
I wish I could elaborate any further on that.
But I'm not the only fan though, because there is huge lines. The people were saying at least a 14-hour wait to get your food.
Hey,
14 hours. Yeah, I don't even think I'd do that, dude. But 14 hours, and apparently there's people fighting in line and shit, dude.
I'd rather wait in line for a fucking PlayStation 5 or an Xbox.
Yeah,
seriously.
I mean,
you're gonna fucking punch someone over a goddamn burger. This shit better fucking cure cancer. Seriously,
dude. I mean,
oh my god.
I just wanted to talk about it because I thought it was fucking silly as shit. Like 14 hours, dude.
So this fucking guy, ladies, gentlemen, and all those genders in between, fucking this guy, I swear to God, will be playing. His ass will take a break, and he'll go to fucking In-N-Out, and he'll get his disgusting animal sauce fucking fries. And y'all fucking assholes can debate me. I don't understand what is up with the fries. They taste like cardboard. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. And he's crazy too when he stops playing fucking Warzone or whatever it is that he's playing with our friend group. He eats some goddamn In-N-Out. I do like the Frosties though. They're pretty good. They're not better than Wendy's, but that's just a childhood bias there. So fuck you, Harry.
And then Magic related news. There's the new Secret Lairs. I believe, I don't know if you saw the pictures I sent to the group, but pretty dope, man. There's the metal ones that I feel like I'm just gonna get just because it hits home with, you know, metal posters and shit. But there's the Bob Ross ones. I don't know if you were able to see those.
Yeah, everyone wants to make friends with Tree.
Yeah. So
Trying to take some Verdant Frost here.
the thing that bummed me out. So you saw the metal ones, right? The ones that I sent.
I did not. Let me take a look at them right now.
Yeah. So if you notice, they're full art. So it
Oh shit!
yeah, they like
Oh my god!
they
Harry, why didn't you show me these?
I sent them to the chat. Damn it.
Arcane Signet is gorgeous.
So the metal ones, they basically look like a concert flyer.
Yeah.
And I think they're fucking fantastic. And you know, again, hits home because me being a metalhead. And I love how they're full art. You know, these are, other than the Amonkhet Invocations.
So good.
Amonkhet Invocations. Those are the first Magic cards where people said these do not look like Magic cards.
Oh yeah. Don't remind me. Like I still have a special place in my heart for some of the original instance and whatnot there.
Yeah.
God, Assassin's Trophy looks so good.
Yeah.
Chat, I wish I could show this to you, but I'm just going to enjoy it for myself. For anyone who's a fan of MTG, please look up some of this new stuff. It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'm a lapsed MTG fan, but Harry is the pinnacle fan.
Yeah. And I might just pick up this thing. The thing that bummed me out is that the Bob Ross ones are not full art.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm liking this fucking. Oh, these are so nice. Yeah, the Bob Ross is a little disappointing.
Yeah, but, they're because the thing, like, it's like if you're getting access to Bob Ross art, why would you not put the entire card as the art? Because like they look like your regular basic land, just shiny. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's nice. Like no offense to basic lands, but not a lot of people really put emphasis on their basic lands. Most people, me generally, get the first fucking stack of those cards that I need. Like, I need 5 planes. I grab the first 5 planes that I find, and I put them in sleeves, and I'm playing. Like, obviously, there are people who want specific,
I think for a main deck, for like a showy dick waggle deck, I would do like
right, like if it's like your one
lands.
Main deck or something, yeah. Like for example,
or you could just wrangle all these fucking squirrel cards now, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I don't think I'm gonna spend the money for it though. I already own the cards.
Oh, I hope not. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I think it was earlier. Yeah, earlier this year they came out with the same thing, Secret Lair, but Godzilla lands. So basically, it was a basic land.
The kaiju.
Yeah, and it had like Godzilla in every single one of the basics, but like if it was a swamp, it was a swamp, but there's like Godzilla in the background. If it was like a mountain, it would have like Godzilla fighting one of the other kaijus from the mountain or whatever. So it's like it was cool because like you can see like, oh, this is a Godzilla land because it has fucking Godzilla in it. But when you see a Bob Ross artwork, it's like if you don't know, it just looks like a regular basic land. So it's like,
oh yeah, and then you get the benefit of being like, this is a Bob Ross land,
and they'll be like, oh really? Like, oh, I didn't notice. It's like because the thing is, most basic art land or basic lands, like the artwork, are already they're landscapes. They're fucking beautiful sometimes. Some people have their specific basic lands that they love, and they always use that artwork. They fill their entire deck. If they have like 16 mountains in there, they sometimes want specific artwork of that, mountain in their deck. So with these Bob Ross ones, it's like there's nothing, like, we understand it's Bob Ross artwork, but there isn't, like, it should have been something like those metal ones. It should have been like full art, like
full art.
And then like the signature, because it just has a generic like Bob Ross signature, like not his generic one. It just has like, it says Bob Ross, like printed.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
And it's like it doesn't have his generic, like his signature, the one where he does it in like fucking paint thinner, and he does it in red and shit. Like he does, it's not like that. It was like, it's just regular text Bob Ross. Like, that's kind of lame, man. They should have done more with it, I think.
Hey, the fact that they Bob Rossed MTG in general.
Okay, you're right about that.
No, trust me, like, as an MTG fan, I get what you're saying. Like, they could have, like, especially with these fucking these metal ass fucking cards, they could have put a tad bit more effort in there. But like, the fact that they're Bob Rossing anything, I could walk away with that. I could walk with that happy. But I do get where you're coming at, where it's like they literally put so much effort into these fucking lands. Like Assassin's Trophy, bud. I would be fine as like a generic card format where it's like it has top lettering, no borders. Like, that's something that I think a Bob Ross picture would have looked great in, where it's got like the art name, the description. Like, it could have been any one of his quotes too. Like, oh, we'll just live in that little cabin there, you know. We'll just do that. Or the however you would quantify the sound that he makes when he like whacks his brush on one of the legs.
When he's beating the devil out of it.
Oh, so good. Oh my god. Hold on. Anguished Unmaking. You just have a fucking Bob Ross quote of him just beating the devil.
So good. That would
so good.
That's my least favorite artwork of the metal ones, but it's fine.
I think it's like kind of generically like they were thinking of like, oh, how are we gonna make like a band merch lineup poster?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much you know about like metal bands, but it reminds me of a band called Avenged Sevenfold. I don't know if you ever heard of them or.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? Come on now.
So
metal.
Yeah, so it reminds me of Avenged Sevenfold, and I'm not a big fan of that band, and I don't like their style, whether it's like image or like music, and it just reminds me of that, and it sucks because this is like, I run Anguished Unmaking in Modern and in Commander, so it's like I was kind of stoked. I was like, ooh, Anguished Unmaking, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh.
I thought they could have. Yeah, I completely agree. I thought they could have done way better with Orzhov, like straight up.
Yeah,
like Anguished Unmaking is such a fucking mic drop card for Orzhov. You could have definitely done something way better.
What they should have done was something, like, to me, like way more black metal.
Oh yeah. Like I would have loved something in the vein of like. God, what is it? To all the people who will be listening to this, they're just going to be like, these fucking idiots are just talking about nothing. I don't know what they're saying. God, what is that? Orzhov armor, and she's got the wings, and the wings are the stained glass.
Are you talking about
it was part of it's no. Hold on. Deck style is Orzhov Enchantment.
Orzhov Enchantment. Oh, okay. It gives like flying and lifelink or something like that.
Yep. Yeah. That, but like death metal. That. Or fucking that's Avacyn's Spear anyway. Why not just do some shit with that?
I feel like maybe some of these artworks were put for specific bands, like Thraxamunder.
Yeah,
that one looks like it's some sort of like, I was gonna say power. It reminds me of a Monomarth-esque stuff, like Viking metal kind of style stuff. I was talking.
Dreadbore strikes me as like something symphonic. I'm not gonna like. Yeah, I'm definitely getting like a Luca Torelli vibe.
Yeah, and I just feel like they didn't really do a good job of it, unfortunately. I mean, nothing against the artist. It looks great. It's just like, me being a metalhead, I'm like, they could have done a better job.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like, that's just, to be fair, I think that's us just kind of getting caught in the weeds. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
right,
just
right.
like, yeah, I like Queen. They're pretty good. And then you're just like, really? And then we're both looking at these Wizards of the Coast cards that are kind of just generally appealing to the concept of metal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the guy who came up with the idea and the guy who was designing it and the guy who like put up the ideas. It's not like these like
Right.
dozen people were like, oh fuck yeah, let's do some Kurok Ongren, let's do some other shit, let's do some more power metal, let's do some Winter Sun. And it wasn't like that at all. It was
Right.
like, let's take some like compiled like idea of what it is and just do that. I'm sure like it looks like it's well versed, like they've obviously done a bit of research, but like I feel like you and I want it to appeal to a certain branch that it's not appealing to, and they're just appealing to like the vague concept of like the metal scene.
Like,
Because you've obviously got like death metal, you've got like, I don't know why people shy away from like black metal, but like implied black metal, you've got like fucking Decimate over here. I don't know what that would probably be. And then
that
everything
probably
else is
thrash. Like death thrash.
Thank you. And then you've got the bottom two that would be like something symphonic or powery.
Yeah, like Decimate, the thrash looking one. I think it's me being a thrash head. Like I'm like, damn, that looks fucking sick. I don't use that card because it's not the colors I like, but it looks fucking dope. Like that's an artwork I would run in my deck if I had the chance. But you know, same thing with Thraxamander. Like I don't use him in any decks or anything, commander or anything. But he's hello. Oh, did my
You
mic
hung
there?
up on me.
No, can you hear me now? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Shit. Yeah. Again, Thraxamander is one that I don't really run or use, but that card looks fucking sick.
So hold on. Red, black, blue. What's the one on the left?
Well, that's a number 4.
No. Oh, fucking. Ladies and gentlemen, and all genders in between, I'm sorry. See, I didn't learn numbers as a child. And when I did, I was about 27, which was about 9 months ago. Oh, God, this is going to be a fun episode. Yeah, I get you. Like, they're still pretty cool. Like, I like almost everything that I see.
Yeah. No, I'm most likely going to get the metal one for sure. Just because, again,
fucking...
It's again hits home with the metal, and it's one of the very few times that Magic made a Magic card that doesn't look like a Magic card.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like what you were saying with Amonkhet, where it's like, granted, I couldn't read a goddamn thing on those cards.
Yeah,
but
true.
Oh boy, if they didn't look absolutely cool.
And it's weird because like it's there's like a 50-50 split of like some people love the way they look, some people hate, just loathe the way they look, and you know, it was just one of those things where like Magic was just kind of like, well, some people loved it, but some people didn't, so they never really brought it back. Like after that, they stopped doing cards like that because I think they just had such a. I think they stopped because too many people were complaining that they were just doing too many at a time, so they stopped. But then I feel like they stopped at the wrong time. It's like if they only came out with like one more set with it, or
there's such a, I don't know about you, but like I would greatly love to see a Magic the Gathering collection. I know they already do it, but I would love to see more cards that aren't just like the typical like gray top bottom border for full art. I would love to see more like this, where it's like the artists have a little more creative license to like design not just the art but the layout of the card.
Yeah.
Like, again, I get it. That would probably, oh, we got the shareholders to think about. But like them being able to design the layout of the card, kind of like, again, how I'm just like gushing over Assassin's Trophy,
Right.
and seeing how clean it looks, and being like, well, why don't you just let an artist work with something like that?
Right.
Come on now.
No, agreed. We hit the 1 hour mark, which I felt like we probably wouldn't have hit, but us rambling on, we did it.
Well, you know what, Harry? With that attitude, we're never going to hit an hour. We're never going to even hit 1,000 people.
No, never. But
on that note, do you want me to sell myself?
Do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, all those genders in between. We have a Twitter, an email, and an YouTube. So the YouTube I'll let Harry work on. But at the moment, for Twitter, if anyone wants to add, or if anyone wants to tell us how awful we are, how bad my stutter is, you can find us at Hitting the Mark with Harry and Mark at HTM, all three caps, _ capital P podcast. HTM _ podcast. And then, if anyone wanted to email us, ask any questions, we wouldn't mind doing maybe like a conversation with a couple of our viewers if we have any down the road. Our email is going to be, what the hell is our email, Bear?
I don't remember. Hitting the Mark at gmail.com.
Oh, yeah. Hitting the Mark 2020 at gmail.com. So again, Twitter, capital HTM _ podcast. HTM podcast. For email, it's Hitting the Mark 2020 at gmail.com. You know what, Harry? I have a funny story. I told it to you, but I want to tell the audience of 2.5 people this story. So I was making the email, right? I was trying to come up with it. And Harry and I have this little inside joke with our friend group that any kind of username, password, or anything should be like savage animal, savage animal this, or oh yeah, dark beast, anything really like, ABO cringy and whatnot. So I'm typing in like as a joke, like, oh, savage animal at gmail.com. Taken. So then I'm like, you know what? Let's see how far I can take this, okay? So I do Savage Animal 420. Taken. I do Savage Animal 69. Taken. That one hurt me a little bit. That one hurt. That one broke my heart that we couldn't do that one. Then, I didn't tell Harry this one, but this is a surprise. I did Savage Animal 6969. Taken. So, I want you, by you I mean the 3 or 4 people who took those email accounts. I want you to know that you've genuinely deprived me of a chance to be snarky and funny and to keep that email with a sense of pride, because I know for a fact that all the ones with the 69s in them are serious, and you break my heart. I'm not kink shaming, but your kink is definitely not mine. And I am... Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, all genders in between, thank you very much for coming by. We're probably going to try resuming our normal Thursdays, if not maybe changing it up a little bit when we do our recording. We did record a day early just because of Thanksgiving. Right. Speaking of, happy Takes Away Day for anyone who's not a fan of Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving for anyone who is a fan. And be safe, be happy, and enjoy the people that are in your company for anyone who just doesn't celebrate, period. Again, we will be trying to do usually Thursdays, but we will probably change it on a case-by-case basis. So, We'll see you guys some other time.
Bye-bye.